Hello? 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 Yeah, so Steam's a piece of shit. Welcome to the window into why I feel seething rage every time someone tries to talk up the qualities of Steam. It has never run well for me ever, and clicking stop on BL3 because the process was still, being shit, but clicking stop crashed my PC. Thanks, Steam. Very cool. Um, so while we load back in, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Uh, I guess I'll run another round of ads so people don't have to deal with fucking scheduled mid rolls, which are gonna start in 40 seconds anyway. So yeah, BRB. Fuck Steam.
Enter the breach, Vault Hunter, and destroy that Guardian.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about the interruption, everyone. It's funny if my internet connection doesn't shit out, something else will happen. Game should be running better now. Let me. Back, missed you. Missed you guys too. Probably won't go too much longer, like another hour, but I didn't want to cut stream short there, you know? Oh, I forgot to launch live split. Okay, well, no idea how fast this will go, so we'll see what happens.
What could have happened here? The planet does not appear to have been ripped apart so much as burst open from within.
I'm at right now, I'm 43. Bad aim. Bad ammo management. This doesn't feel fast, but
An Iridian temple. That must be the source of the signal.
got that kill, nice. Ooh, we got multiple kills there. Extra vigor stacks.
These structures are thousands of years old, but there is no record of any iridium.
Basically means I can just land in a more specific place here.
Must have been transported here from elsewhere. More crystals. Interesting.
Should have tried to slide there.
Hold them off. Let's go around, huh? This is so goddamn sublime.
That's very awkward. Don't like that positioning at all. Another one, huh?
My burden is a billion worlds. I live.
I forgot that was a thing. So yeah, if you're next to a diadem when it's despawned by crystals ending, it kills you. I always forget. Normally that's something I only do on Moes. I got live split up this time though. It'll fucking load. There it goes. Technology is not my friend today. Ooh. Bad movement. -3 seconds in the first 3 seconds.
The planet does not appear to have been ripped apart so much as burst open from within.
Heck, today I hope you don't have to print anything, right? It's definitely out of toner. That's a spawn pattern I really don't like getting, but... Well.
An Iridian temple! That must be the source of the signal. Those vines are identical to those found on Necrotafeo. I never thought to connect them to that planet's disintegrating structure.
Is this good spawn RNG? Crazy.
Crystals. Interesting.
My movement wasn't good, but those were good spawns. Zeroed items. Optimal. Hey, Pupty. Hi, how are you? Annoyed Steam crashed my PC during stream today, so like that was cool. But other than that, you know, vibing. Oh, fucked up. I jumped too soon. Also, I'm kind of playing like Cheeks. We had a really good first run, and then just like so good since.
My burden is a failure.
You think it's a new UI update? It's been a buggy hunk of junk lately. I mean, it looks nice, but man, lots of bugs. Hey, it could have been. It's never done that to me before. It's always run poorly for me. Like, I've never really had good experiences with Steam. But like, it was never that bad before, so I don't know, maybe. Oh, that was enough? Okay. Guess you're optional. That's very awkward.
You sheepishly protest the flame with words of me. Come then, burn beneath a tower's head.
It's a weird angle to hit that jump, but I think it's okay. why I always have COV mail.
Gotta hand it to me.
I don't know why I tried to conserve a fish there. I shouldn't have. Actually, it's still a little too early. It's gonna cost me. $830. Ugh. Not fantastic.
We built for the Destroyer an endless perfect cage. A billion souls the key, a world alive. But though our fallen masters hate the bloody waste, your greed unlocked the door to destruction.
You're welcome.
A couple of nice combo breakers there. Finally, character to play endgame, unlike Flag. Hey Rat, how you doing? Did I hit the button, or am I stupid? No, I'm stupid. Cool. I was gonna ask if you've seen this setup before, but like, I'm not even seeing this setup right now, so I don't know if that's a valid question.
Yeah, I could use some practice.
Save outcome with that. It perhaps should. How did that hit me? Question mark? Well, technically fine, because that gets me up, but like, damn. Lose my movement speed. I am behind. I don't like how that played out at all, actually. Oh, never mind. Oh, I do. Feel 3 dot sounds trigger something in me.
That must be the source of the energy signature. Go in, Vault Hunter, so we may get a reading on whatever's inside. Yes, it's probably...
So it must be.
Damage? Okay, there you are. Took you a while to show up. Now, if I can clear the first teleport room in like 20 seconds, I can actually catch up. My action skill would break right there. No item spawns though. Good RNG. That wasn't 20 seconds, but I'm only 20 total seconds behind, I guess. Other enemies, please fucking die. Holy shit. Just incredibly unlucky. Yeah. Unfortunate. Got a good spawn, Sag. Where I only get good spawns in Scourge 2 when it no longer matters. It'd be like an 18, 20, something like that. That's right. No, more like faster than that. Still. Sub 18, but like, I guess it's the second best run of the day. Still not quite satisfied with it. I could have played so much better.
Wonderful. Now that the planet-destroying
Slow.
Guardian menace has been taken down, we can focus on the other things trying to kill us. Which, if I just check my notes here, is all of them. Everything. As they say, no suspension of consciousness for the morally depraved.
Pestilence will speedrun. I just love that, like, the progression of BL3 is not a gun game ended up to where, you know, all of the guns that are competitive in endgame are being used because they're the least like guns. Stream died, then had to step away anyway. Dotmo's Sag. Oh no, Sag? You were whelmed before. What happened? Repeating it because I didn't hear your response. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. You said you were whelmed, and I was interested. I would like to peek the setup.
Robotic beat.
So let's finish this off by doing some memes. Do a little bit of the Lucky 7 shit. I'll go over to Mal1 for that.
I've missed you, boy.
Enter the breach, Vault Hunter, and destroy that Guardian.
You're so much more fun than Balek. He never wanted to just go out and murder people.
Perhaps whelmed was the wrong word. It was a little better than underwhelmed. Oh, so it's not hopeless, it's just not worth your time. Kind of like Black Pet stuff, even though I'm doing it anyway. Something like that. Maybe a better Mo's player can take it further. I'll send the say later. Okay, sounds good.
Intel says there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter.
This place is supposed to be secure. Let's clear out these rats. What the hell? Vault hunters? How'd they find us? The chaos. Have fun, Rocky.
I guess it's bad. Relatively new to BL3, haven't been in the BL community since 2016, finding new creators to me anyway, it's been fun. Wonder who you main in this game. I mostly play Flack. That's the content that kind of put me on the map as well, but also it's the thing that drove me to want to make content because, not a lot of Flack-focused creators putting out the facts to a wider audience. Like, people like Rator, who might still be lurking, the, like, OG, super knowledgeable Flack guy, but, just kind of casually put out YouTube videos and didn't stream or anything. Like, I wanted to be discount Rator, but, like, spread the good news and stuff, so I started making Flack content, and that's kind of how I got on the map. I do play all the Vault Hunters, Zane the least, but Flack would be the one I spend the most time on. Stone Swan, right there in the chat above you, is the most knowledgeable Amara player. Like, period, who's ever touched the game. And he has a website, like, entire Amara build discography, if you will. Ancient_rune is a knowledgeable Zane player if you're looking for the Zane angle on things.
Keep going.
And in terms of Moe's players, it's kind of an in-community meme, but all the Moe's players retire. So, like, technically, I guess I'm the most knowledgeable Moe's that still touches the game. Even though I'm also the Flack guy. But, Prismatic, if you ever see Prismatic in the chat, has forgotten more about Moe's than most people have ever known. And lost brain cells for it, but Priz isn't a content creator, despite all the attempted gaslighting into it. Oh, jeez. Both corrosive. That's rude. Got some ads, can't hear. Let me know when you're out of ads. Let me know when you're out of ads, and I'll go over the build for you after the run. I don't know if you can hear me yet. Actually good. The hypothetical success imminent Nova that I always talk about why you should never take the skill just found me there. Frames. Get my frames back. My aim's bad enough as it is. Actually fine. Full reflection. How do you ads not miss anything important you might have said? I gave you some names of a couple of people who have either currently or have in the past made some content or managed some resources and stuff associated with each character. Basically, I'm the current Flack guy. If you ever have any Flack questions, Here would be the place to ask them, or flak build ideas to bounce around, etc., etc. That's my thing. I'm kind of known for flak stuff. Stone Swan in the chat there is the most knowledgeable Amara player, past or present. Ancient Rune would be a good source for Zane content, and it's kind of an in-community meme, but Moe's players always retire, so you would also come to me for Moe's, because I'm the only person who's put significant time into Moe's who hasn't completely dropped the game. Ms. TV, how you doing?
Titanic takedown.
Brilliant work, Vault Hunter. That ass kicking will make
Yeah, we'll vocal set. Thank you for the summary vocal. I swear Twitch punishes non-subs for chatting by giving them ads. Oh, absolutely. The timing is always so bad, like you said, Guess. Like, every time I'm explaining something to someone who's a non-sub, without fail, that's when the ads come in. Like, I run the absolute minimum amount of ads they allow you to run on the platform that lets you turn off pre-rolls, so new viewers won't, like, see ads the second they click on the channel. But unfortunately, there's still a high chance that when we're talking about something, you just get interrupted by ads. If you have means of not seeing ads, I encourage any and all use of that. Obviously, subbing is an option, but there are non-sub ways of doing that. Just know that I do not get any significant money from ad revenue, so you are not hurting me by bypassing ads. This build's nuts. So this build's been kind of a thought experiment. Like, Lucky 7 gearing and skill tree structure has a lot of room for some stuff that benefits pets and a little bit of overlap with Gamma gun builds too. So the idea is, because with the Lucky 7, with the crit roll, you always crit, means you don't need Mega War. That frees up a bunch of points. It frees up 5 points here, if we're just going to Galactic Shadow. And if we only go to lick the wounds over here, then that puts us in a position where we have enough points to go deep purple if we wanted to. We can't go deep blue and deep purple, but we can get enough blue to get all the desirable gamma augments, to get the most optimal skag for this kind of setup, and to get important pet interactions. And then we can get enough purple to spam drones from the pet. A couple ways you can go about this. You don't have to go all the way down to fuzzy math. If you're using certain other shields, it's just for messy breakup specifically. Fuzzy math's great. If you're doing like Ember's Blaze or Red Suit, then you can just free up a lot of purple and allows you to take other things. But the idea is, the more you put into Purple Tree, the more your damage sucks. Think of every 5 points you put in Purple Tree as flak is you've nerfed your build by another tier. That's just kind of how it works. Now, it doesn't nerf flak pet builds, because that's the only thing this tree does well. So we're trying to strike a balance with some sort of hybrid that works out, and this kind of functions. One of the problems Lucky 7 has is ammo. You need to sustain the ammo. And an interesting thing that happens with Leave No Trace is Flak's pet can trigger Leave No Trace independently of Flak. On a separate internal cooldown, it seems. So we give the pet that 15% chance to crit with everything it does. We give the pet forced crits the first time it melees everything. And we force everything to attack the pet with Red Fang, meaning every time the pet gets hit, it inflicts an instance back and has a 15% chance to crit, which will then iterate Leave No Trace and trigger it if it hits on a 1 and not a 0 in the predetermined seed. So basically, the pet getting hit does damage back to the enemies and also gives us ammo. A lot. So we run around shooting Lucky 7 while the pet tanks for us, and the more the pet gets hit, the more messy breakup drones it gets. And we just do otherwise pretty conventional Lucky 7 stuff. 15 cents per stream from ads. Yeah, like I do not get... The most money I've ever made from ad revenue was like when my channel was the biggest. This was when BL3's content cycle was going and Arms Race was like popular. The most I've ever made from ad revenue in a month was like $100. $100. I don't make shit for ad revenue. Spend it all in one place. Yeah. And that was with running an amount of ads that saw people complaining about how often I was running ads. Like, more than I'm willing to do. And Twitch knows it's a problem because they increase the price of Turbo, which gives you ad-free across the platform, but they increase the price. And they go after ad blockers regularly. So they know it's a problem, it's just they don't care. You can do a bunch of different combinations of pets here. Like, what class mod am I using? Yeah, I'm using a Red Fang right now. Stackbot is going to be massively more damage on the Lucky 7 side, but I have more consistent ammo returns from enemies attacking the pet instead of me. And Red Fang will also make the pet do a lot more damage just because those skills. I go down less with Red Fang as well. Do another run of this. Well, maybe Kick will come knocking with that $100 million contract. It would have to be 100 mil for me to go on that platform. You don't know, Kick is literally a money laundering operation for online gambling. The face of the platform was being roasted on his stream by his manager for fucking with Nazis too closely. I don't know. And one of the selling points for the platform when they first started trying to poach people from Twitch was how much more loose the content guidelines are and the moderation. And I don't know. I already can't go a week without getting called a slur in 2023. I don't really want to go somewhere where people are like, oh, I can say more shit. Like, I'm good. I'm good. What about Rumble? Wasn't Rumble, like, weren't they originally presenting themselves as a more political right biased YouTube? And, like, that's funny because YouTube already has a heavy political bias to the right. But, like, wasn't that their original thing and they're trying to pivot lately? Like, they don't want that label anymore, is my understanding. Could be outdated info. You have Vid on this build? I do not. So this is something I kind of put together this week. I have a VODs channel. You can see the process of me thinking through this and putting it all together as I play it. The last 2 streams are me playing this. When you put it looks like another K. Yeah, kinda. Be honest, if the Rise Kick caused the trash, I get off Twitch, I don't mind it. Yeah, honestly, like, some of the people who have gone over, I'm happy to see them go. But yeah. I don't know, like, Twitch is only staying afloat because there's no viable alternatives. It's not because Twitch is making any good choices. And I say this as a partnered streamer on the platform. Marvel's super alright, and Pivot I would say no. Ah, so they're just projecting Pivot, right. I'd say no more soccer. I get it.
I've been reading your echo messages. Who's this claptrap?
Like, yeah, so YouTube is one of those things. So like at this point in time, if I could start over, like knowing everything I do now, knowing how each platform would go, I'd have probably started on YouTube rather than here. But the thing is, creators my size don't survive platform changes. So, and Twitch knows that. That's why they only try to maintain the big creators. Those are the ones who can hop platforms and are paid to do so. Look at the VODs for sure. I tend to not be interested in Black much because everyone just goes fade away and it's beyond boring to me. Oh, so we got another thing for you here. I'm sure you've seen this link pop up, but the Flak builds document there is a bunch of builds, all sorts of different build archetypes. Flak has the most build diversity in the entire Borderlands series. Like, you can do more different things on Flak than like, some entire entries in the series. You have options. I think a lot of people gravitate towards the fadeaway playstyle because it's the most straightforward, it vaguely reminds them of Zero, and it's what was popular when the game was new. But in terms of like peak of Flak's power, Rack Attack is incredibly useful in things it enables. Gamma Burst, as you can see, is very valuable when it's not bugging out and breaking. It unfortunately is one of the buggier actions in the game. All Flak's action skills except Grab Snare are good. Grab Snare is tragically bad, but all the others are good. You can do cool stuff with all of them. People used to stream from the very own websites, not others' platforms. I feel that may be an answer again. Discoverability seems like an issue there, right? Also costs.
Yes, to the bloodletting!
Actually using Rack that build right now. SPG's Wizard Flak build's pretty fun. I'm not familiar with the build, but Wizard Flak sounds exactly up my alley and exactly the kind of stuff that I promote people doing on Flak. So, nice.
Chew them to bits!
SOG, don't remember the name. I'm terrible with names as well, so. Rug.
Valkyries fall, and death smiles.
You feel like watch? Yeah, feel free.
But we're after something bigger. Keep going.
Always curious to see what other people are doing. Grab Snare just exists, yeah. Domains are cheap, but bandwidth is holy fucking hell kinds of expensive. Really curious how the entire online entertainment service industry will evolve in the near future. My god, it seems like everyone's been shooting themselves in the foot recently. It's this whole mentality of how much can I increase profits for this next quarter. No one cares about actual retention of anyone. Like, that's why Warner Brothers has been doing all that crazy shit. That's why Netflix is doing all that crazy shit. And the Netflix thing is a good example because short-term projection for numbers is showing that their password sharing crackdown is working. It's doing exactly what they wanted it to do. They're making more money because of it. And it's not making anyone like the platform, so long-term, it probably hurts them. But short-term, they're making more money. And that's kind of the meta right now. Pardon the pun. LOL meta's a thing. And streaming platforms are doing it too. Like, it's kind of interesting that Twitch is just dropping the ball so often that they're making YouTube seem like the reasonable entity in the room. And YouTube is famously bad for creators on the platform. Like, to the point where tech support for YouTube is Twitter. Is having a Twitter following. That's it. That's all you get. Like, oh, okay. And then, of course, Twitter. Twitter's Twitter. That one got me. Well done, Swin. I was not prepared. For the internet, we just rocks. Life is easy. Or Twitter's having profit problems. Yeah. And they target interesting categories with where they try to recoup their losses. Like, the reason why you see Prime subs being excluded from so many things, like that new Partner Plus thing they're trying to push, which is allegedly an exclusive deal that they're just opening up to more people because not enough people qualified. Where partners who maintain a streak of, 350 or more concurrent paid tier 1 subs qualify for the old 70-30 split that they just arbitrarily gave to very large creators before. That notably does not include gifted subs, which even large streamers, majority of their sub revenue is from gifted subs. And it doesn't include Prime subs. Now, Prime subs are used disproportionately on the largest creators on the platform, and Twitch does not make money off of Prime subs. Prime subs are actually a huge component of how they lose money. So them kind of doing everything to downplay and minimize Prime subs is them acknowledging that. Also, they don't make ad revenue the way they want to, which is why they constantly change that system. They're pushing for more ads on these larger creators, and it's funny because these larger creators are the people who flex on Twitter, turning down 5-figure deals for running more ads for their channel for that month. But they're still making more money on that than Twitch is. Those are just Twitch doesn't know what to do. Head back from lunch, new pump came in, kicked some ass. Hey, WWW and thank you. A lot of people who use Prime wouldn't use it otherwise. True. Very true. Spartan Games. Yeah, I've seen that name before. Yeah. Spellcaster Flag. It's a cool build archetype. Magic is true power. I like it. And yeah, tying into all this, Kick being associated with so much shitty behavior, but them also, like, how were they making money other than the online gambling thing? Like, that's the real question, because they're dropping 100 million deals on streamers. They're fucking, their revenue splits 95-5. Like, where don't they have to do the shitty money thing to maintain that? YouTube still has 70-30, which is cool, but like their interface sucks, their discoverability sucks, and their creator support sucks. You might be underestimating how profitable gambling is. Fair point. Fair point. I wonder if Twitch will one day decide to get rid of Prime to maximize profits again. I don't know, because, like, Amazon makes money off of Prime, right? Because the way you have a Prime is by paying for a Prime subscription on Amazon. So the money's just going somewhere else. But, like, I don't know if Twitch would get rid of it, because Twitch and Amazon, you know? We're gonna keep boosting stake. Problem is it only goes so far. Like, it could give them a good couple years. But as Vocal said, it'll be really interesting to see what everything looks like in a couple years. Gonna fight me? No? Fail at it? That's cool too. Okay, I got it.
Titanic takedown.
Brilliant work, Vault Hunter. That ass kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us again.
Think of all the places we could be, and all the people we could kill there.
Honestly amazed they've kept Prime this long. Twitch alone isn't profitable. That's why there's all this shit going down with it. Yeah. Yeah, like, they don't know how to become profitable either. I don't know if there is a solution to that. The Primes make Amazon money. Loses money on Twitch. I'm expecting Kick to be one huge rug pull. Not sure how exactly, but I get those vibes. I mean, the clientele is not the right word, but the associated people definitely fit that bill. There's definitely an appropriate amount of shadiness there for that to be the case. I think it's definitely if Logan Paul was a platform. Got the legs. He did. He did. Let's do... Just know you. I'll do some know you. Gonna change their splits at some point. They have to. Need to run ads, etc. Yeah.
Ready for a fight?
Like, if anyone thinks that a 95-5 split is sustainable, like, I have a timeshare to sell you. Where is the timeshare? Atlantis. Doesn't that sound fun?
Intel says there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter.
The most fun Amara build. So yeah, that's one of those things. Fun is gonna like. Here's the thing, guest. BL3 is so crazy diverse in what you can do that like, if you think of a concept, you can probably do it. Like if you pick an item slot, you're like, I'd like to kill with damage from this as a primary. You can do it. You can do that with any of the item slots. You can make your class mod your primary damage dealer. You can make your artifact, your grenade, your shield, any of your guns. And that's before including things specific to characters. Action skill aside, such as class mod aside rather, such as action skills and entry interactions. And like there's so many things that most fun is gonna vary. Because for some people the traditional the stuff you found yourself bored by, the fadeaway stuff, which I don't tend to do much of either, because it's very vanilla to me. For some people that's their absolute favorite stuff. Some people live and breathe Zane gun builds with Mantis and Digiclone, as if that's not the most cookie cutter thing you can do in the entirety of Borderlands 3. But some people love it. So like, fun is not a thing that I don't think there's gonna be a useful answer to that.
Yes, to the bloodletting! Go for the eyes!
I can hear underwater tourism's all the rage right now. Oh no. They learn a basic bitch Zane player apparently. It's not a bad thing, Raid. The classics can be very enjoyable. And everyone's got their own preferences. There's no, like, a wrong answer. Like, some people would hate exactly what I'm doing build-wise and would never play it. But I personally find it really funny killing enemies with grenades, shield reflects, ground slams, basically everything except shooting my gun. If I ever did something exotic, it wouldn't be exotic anymore. You got a point there. Like, real blast from the past here, but Outriders kind of has the reverse situation where gun builds are super uncommon on a couple of characters because everyone does non-gun stuff. It's like inverse Borderlands. That's too slow. Inverse riot builds what made Borderlands fun. I agree, Shrapnel. It's part of why I can log so many hours in this game. There's always different builds I can play. New ones I can make. Concepts I haven't explored.
Valkyries fall, and death smiles.
Those were advanced mechs, but we're after something.
Sounds like you might have answered my question, Stone. Sorry to say I heard none of it. The ad strike again. No way. Yeah, no, that's about right, timing-wise. Okay. So what I was saying was, there's so many build options in this game and so many different playstyles that you can support basically anything you can think of. There's a way to make that work. And everyone has different preferences and playstyles. Some people like super basic cookie cutter stuff, like conventional gun builds. I used Zane with Mantis and Digiclone, just pew-pewing a gun as an example, which is super popular, and some people absolutely love that. It's the only way they enjoy playing the game. For me, that's not how I play at all. So, like, I don't think there's a useful answer to the question, like, what's the most fun build? I don't think there's an answer that gives you any sort of, like, indication of whether you would like it or not. I think you'd have to do the reverse and be like, okay, these are the kinds of ways I like playing the game. Can you think of any builds that fit that sort of idea? And, like, then you can get some more. Looks really similar to Spellcaster Flak I was talking about. This is a build I made. When did I make this?
Let the hunt take you.
Still command? Yeah. November 2020 is when I uploaded that. Oh. What did I say November? September, excuse me. This is one I've been messing around with for a while, but it's kind of like more an idea than like... There's a bunch of gear on this save. This backpack's always full because there's so many things I can do. But it's all about being the spellcaster Flak, you know? Everything that isn't a gun, we use. And we can even use a gun. Like, there's nothing stopping us from pulling out a crit and shooting enemies, because... Yeah, but... May 2020 feels like eons ago. It really does. It really does. In about 2 weeks, I'll have been a monetized channel for 3 years, and that's really weird to me. Time does interesting things. Being a Destiny player, just which Gearbox got its matchmaking and semi-open world optimized. Matchmaking is something they've... Yeah, it's never been good in these games. I know a lot of people have fond memories of BO2 matchmaking, but, like... It's been unacceptable in every entry, including this one. It's just like, you... Keeping a group together between activities even is difficult. It's for a very specific kind of co-op play. In terms of like the open world stuff, I don't know how I feel about that, because I think the place that Borderlands shines the most for me is the isolated, repeatable activities. But that's my own personal preference, and I can't claim to speak for the entire fandom there. I do think there are lessons to be learned from Destiny, though. Particularly in content design. Maybe not content distribution, like content design. I think there's some notes that could be taken. The fandom can't speak for the fandom. True. Zane made personally, but I hate using Digiclone. Just a little boring to me. Like something a little more interactive. Yeah, so Zane is this interesting situation where September 13th, 2019, Borderlands 3's launch day. That day, Zane was the most interactive character by far, and it wasn't close. But it's just a constant, the needle was constantly moved by new things introduced, by balancing, by things the community grew to prefer, by content design, where he just kind of lost all of that interactivity over time. I have a Zane setup I can play for you next after this run that is one of the more interactive ones, but like, your point about Digiclone not being interactive, it's interactive by Zane standards. That's probably why it's one of the only ways I'll play Zane. But in general, in comparison to like other build things, I think you do have a point. Out of grenades. I'm good at video games.
This takedown for thee.
Brilliant work, Vault Hunter. That ass kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us again.
World equals cars that pass. Yeah, I don't need more Borderlands vehicle stuff in my life. I'm good.
Distract them.
Rocketeer Moose is so interactive, you can do other things IRL and clear content. Yeah. Prefer doing the work instead of setting my clone up to do the work. Yeah, I feel you. That's perfectly valid. Peak Zane to me was old Mayhem 4 Sentinel Barrier Distributor. There's other more interesting stuff since then. There's more powerful stuff since then. But that was the most fun I had with him. I think that's an answer a lot of people would give. That was a very common setup, and it was surprisingly spicy for such a popular build, you know? Like, it surprises me that as many people like Rackstab as they do, because it's decidedly not reminiscent of other Borderlands builds that got that popular to that point. I think it just capitalized on the whole, hey, how few inputs can I clear this game in? So this is Remote Ranger. It's a non-gun Zane setup structured around maximizing Sentinel and Digiclone damage while I do some ground slam stuff. And there was a window of time where I held every Proving Ground and Circle of Slaughter world record on Zane at the same time with this build. Now, over time, I lost those records as other players pushed to other builds and as the categories got more competitive. But there was a window of time where this build held 9 simultaneous world records. That was pretty cool. And it's still one of the faster clearing Zane builds in the game. All without shooting.
Intel says there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter.
Let's crack on! Get him, Zoomer! Didn't anyone take...
My game crashed. It's also so fast it crashes your game. Okay, Steam, don't crash my PC this time. It already did once during stream today. Borderlands moment, yeah. Pagflex.exe. How you doing, Bridge Raymore? Shit on a shingle? I mean, I can. I don't know how that solves either of our problems, Moo, but I'll be a homie. I got you. You got the shingle? Not even a vendor? I know, it's crazy. I've really been interested in summoner companion characters in games. I generally haven't either. It's just, I think the thing that makes it interesting to me on Zane is that it's the opposite of what people do with the character. Like, people assert that Zane is the gun character, you have to shoot gun, and like, you don't. It's, even on Zane, the character who is most synonymous with gun, this build clears faster than conventional gun builds. You have to get into the real specific stuff to outclear this on Zane. Like, no one running around shooting a Hellwalker or a Light Show, a Plasma Coil, Free Radical, Unkempt Herald. None of those are outclearing this. Now, peak stuff that Zane can do with his gun slot does outclear. Creamer with Hustler Racer, Yellow Cake with Hustler Racer, Lucky 7. Those all do. Anarchy can as well. Those are all things that are capable of outclearing this, but it proves the point further that the less a gun behaves like a gun in this game, the better it is. And if you can use a gun for something other than shooting, it's better. Thank you, Twitch, Steam, BL3 Optimum, for all the quality of life debuffs. It's all coming together. I'm just happy that you guys can see that, you know, I'm tormented by technology. Wag. Go demonstrate the Hustler Yellow Cake stuff you're talking about. I think I got a save for it. Yeah, let me do that after this run. Let me do that after this. I've got a Hustler save. I think it's set up for Creamer right now, but yeah, I can do Yellow Cake. Never seen Hustler before. Basically, the reason why Hustler Eraser is so good is because Eraser not only does crazy damage double dipping interactions, it also double dips splash radius. So the reason why that can outclear non-gun stuff is because you can turn compatible weapons into just room-wide nukes.
Intel says there's an elevator down to
It's
the lower
a
levels.
it's a hitbox
Make
thing.
your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter.
It's more like you're shooting novas out of your gun in most
Where
cases,
that came from?
rather than shooting a gun. Oh, clone died.
Pop it off! Got any more for the meat grinder?
Mishandled one of those guys. Still got Sentinel.
Go get him, Zoomer! Wish I could say that was the first time this week 3 angry ladies tried to throw
The cryo from Terror Cryo.
Those
Trick
are
of the Light.
advanced mechs, but we're after something bigger.
I run Terror Cryo, and I have Trick of the Light.
Keep going.
Sentinel hurried up. Well, it's not the right gun, but it should be fine.
I call this a successful operation.
Hey, Rapid Fire, how are you? In this chat, you guys know the Kiss of Homies guys got married recently? W. Hey, Higgy Brit. I don't remember if I said hi to you, but hi. You know the new Zendaya tennis movie is written by the potion seller guy? Potion seller guy? All I saw about that Zendaya tennis movie is Twitter not being able to separate an acting role from real life. Let's put it that way. Guess a home too if you want, I guess. This is Zendaya tennis. Zendaya the actress, tennis the sport. A movie. Seen a bunch of Tom Holland memes about it? Yeah, yeah. Twitter being Twitter again. Other news, the sky is blue. My folks have to work all night. I'll be right over to cover for you so you can go home early. If I could like teleport or something, I'd help all the homies out like that. That sounds awful, Soccer. I hope it ends up not being awful. Fall asleep? Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Ridiculous. Yeah, this is, you know, as someone who enjoys the setup because you can play Digiclone in a more interactive way than the baseline of Zane, I totally get if this does not seem interactive to you, because by any other character standards, this is not interactive. But it's more interactive than a lot of Zane things. Called Remote Ranger. It is in the Zane build stock if you ever want to play that. I promised eraser stuff. This one? Should be this one. A robotic, a mech, a sire. You know, Marcus used to only do that on certain platforms, and then they made him do it on all platforms. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm set up for Creamer right now. We'll do Creamer. Was on Xbox? Yeah. Only million saves. How many saves do I have? I might have broken a new threshold there. Let me see. Because I did make a couple saves last couple streams. Properties 1,797 saves. So I haven't broken the 1,800 mark yet. Pretty sure this is set up for GTD speedrunning, so I have like no quality of life anything, just movement speed. Did I ever turn Echo Gas back on? I did. Marcus is good at platforming. I think that is the takeaway. The double barrel spec or no?
Intel says there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance. I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter.
Basically, Screamer is a weapon that has a large splash radius that splits into multiple projectiles. Hustler gives each of those projectiles and the splits a chance to create a new projectile, which will then double dip off of that original splash radius and shoot out towards a nearby enemy. Screamer is one of many weapons that's compatible with this interaction. The Screamer is just one of the stronger performing ones. That's that whole room. That. Well, the spec is just silly. It's insanity. Oops, bad aim. There we go. I should be remembering a cold bore. Now, Yellow Cake can do this too. It is similarly effective, just Screamer has better range and faster projectiles. Other notable eraser weapons you can do this with. Globetrotter is a popular pick. Shocker from DLC 2 is another good one. Scoville, also from DLC 1. And this is one of those setups where the more enemies in a room, the more damage you do. So not only can it one-shot every boss in the game, if you get good RNG, the more stuff, the more splits you get. Shocker! You make me commit yet? I haven't yet. I need to. Every time I mention Shocker, hang on. Best voice acting of all time. Bar none. That's bad RNG, I didn't get good splits there. I could have also gotten myself a better angle. Scream acting. Voice screaming. It's definitely overacted, but I love it so much. It's silly. And the way you sustain ammo in this build is a pretty big shitpost guess. Optimal Creamer is the one that doesn't have the projectile speed part, specifically so that the rocket is slow enough that it blows up in your face. And because Zane is silly and has immunity to his own splash damage from certain kinds of damage, you hit yourself, so you become a valid target for projectile splits, and you get ammo from each of those that hits you from your absorb shield. So it's basically, if you ever sham fleeted in Borderlands 2, this is that, but like way stronger.
Deathbringer is also my nickname.
Because this is sham fleeting that can hit quadrillions of damage. Pretty sure I've had the same digiclone active the entire run.
Now that is definitely your target. Light that giant bastard up.
That RNG. More enemies. I'll help.
Did anyone teach you how to fight?
I didn't get the super satisfying one. Pause. I got that one. I could be using Toboggan for a lot more damage. But yeah, it illustrates the point.
Brilliant work, Vault Hunter. That ass kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us again.
Do I have yellow cake stuff on here? I might. I have red suit. Do I have the cake? I don't. I have Shocker, though. Shocker! You can't escape me. Well, it's crazy. If you want to see this build firing on all cylinders, let me link you. This is the world record True Guardian takedown run for Zane. Fastest across all characters currently. Their time trials rules. And that's a creamer. Hey Felicia, how are you?
A robotic beast, a covert operate, a side.
Wait, what can I do that's also funny? I want to do like one more funny silly build.
A robotic beast.
I talked about Rackstab. I haven't played any Rackstab today. One expression, if a car fired on all cylinders simultaneously would probably destroy the crankshaft. I'll destroy your crankshaft. Spread me with good time. Said it better. True. Ah, yes. My rocket jumping tool is useless in this particular takedown. expression doesn't say to do it simultaneously, so we're safe. Also true. I'll just stick with the GTD speedrun setup. So this will be with like a version of this build that is not optimized for this particular content, but it's still rack stab, so.
Intel says there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance.
See if my muscle memory's here.
I'm counting on you, Vault Hunter.
Kinda isn't.
The bloodshed. The chaos. Your weakness is known. How are your last reps? Deal with these.
He's still got it. He's still got it.
The hunt takes all. Even as a
That was actually really fucking clean.
couldn't end my hunt.
Those were advanced mechs, but we're after something bigger. Keep going.
Distract them.
Hey, Coffee, how are you?
That's the spirit. Pocket rats.
Bad boxes, RNG. Couldn't be me. On your fire heavy up there. Oh, another one? Really? So this section right here, this is why I don't run Mal 1 as a category. Because this is pure RNG. Like minus 20 seconds just because bad spawns. That's not the right gun.
Another false sight. This is my purpose. Look for the eyes. Let the hunt take you.
Drink water, good advice. I gotta do that. Do that after this run.
Now that is definitely your target. Light that giant bastard up.
Distract them. Weak. All of you.
And that's Mal 1 takedown. So that's with me being extremely rusty and getting very bad spawns
Kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us again.
at boxes.
That was cool of you.
But rack stab's still incredibly efficient. This build is the gold standard for flak endgame speedrunning. If you're not familiar, this is just what you run. If you're doing takedowns, it's this build. Nothing else is as fast. Let me drink some tea. Feel a very slight, dull, and frequent ache in my head. Oof. Yeah, water's good for that, too. Need to check it out then. Yeah, this is the build that put me on the map as a creator as well. It is the result of drunken 4 a.m. build crafting. Stumbled into a concept, tested it, worked out well, kept optimizing it, it became meta. And it's one of the most well-known non-gun builds in this game. Stop jerking myself off here, but it's just it's a testament to BL3 is not a gun game at peak for a majority of situations. You have so many powerful non-gun options. Like Stinger, Fish Slap are insane. Fish Slap is the most powerful item in this entire game, bar none. And this is a build that just takes very efficient advantage of that. Pretty similar to Wizard 1 as well, just way stronger somehow. This is super sweaty, optimized. And Fish Slap is, as I said, it's just the strongest item in this game. And keep in mind, as a theory crafter, I'm one of those people who I'm super fucking annoying when someone asks me if like something's best or something stronger than something else, because I'll immediately I'll answer with a question. I'll be like, okay, for what? For which situation? Fish Slap is one of those things where you don't need to apply a situation. It is just simply nightmarish. Like it's just that strong. It's just that item. Best, it depends, unless it's Fish Slap, in which case, yeah. Although there's a couple areas of the game where other grenades can get you better clear. There's hyper-specific scenarios where other grenades can do more damage, but Fish Slap is still like the optimal clear for everything where you can build around it. So this is base game too. Yeah, this build is it's base game friendly. If you don't have DLC 6, you just swap out a Guardian Angel for Psycho Stabber. And if you don't have DLC 4, you just swap out Peregrine for Rack Commander. And it's entirely base game compliant. Kick Charger is just there for speedrun tech. Plumage is just there for speedrun tech, although you can just run Ruby's Wrath as a base game version of this. This is base game and just there for speedrun tech. Base game, base game, base game. Fish Slap the build got double roid on it. So obviously getting specific parts is a bit of a crapshoot, but max damage Fish Slap is triple link. Yeah, you can get 3 parts. This augment section will only show 2, but you can see if it has a third by checking the value here. It rolls a third, the card just doesn't have room. Or it's capable of rolling a third, the card just doesn't have room. The way it maths out, despite roided visually showing more card damage, Link is more because Link includes the first hit, and it acts as card damage. So, triple Link is max damage for Fish Slap. But Fish Slap is Fish Slap, so it's just always crazy. All my Witcher stuff in Cyberpunk for pre-ordering Phantom Liberty. Ooh. I didn't even think about pre-order bonuses. I just pre-ordered so that I would like not have to worry about buying it. What do we get for pre-order bonus? Hey Sosis, how you doing? I keep saying one more and just switching to a different build. Classic BL3 streams.
A robotic siren
from a robotic beastmaster.
You do some stagecoach stuff.
A covert
Some Amara stuff. Let's do Amara. Scuff version of this uses Bounty Hunter, super gearing friendly. Yeah, there's no bad class mod for that except Commandlet. Commandlet is the only, like, you made a choice and you're incorrect answer for class mod for Rackstab. Bounty Hunter is max damage. Rack Commander is max cooldown. Peregrine is optimal utility. I'm from the hospital right now. Surgery went well. I'm alive, so it's okay. Well, definitely glad to hear you're alive. I hope the mending process is as quick as possible. Glad to hear from you. It'll also be in the build archive thing? Yes, it's there. Spiffy new muscle car? Ooh. How early in the game can you get it? Like, you know the section of the game where you just have, like, your shitty Delamain car if you dragged your feet, or your shitty car that gets fucked up by Delamain, I should say, if you drag your feet, or like you have to go get Jackie's bike, then you just don't have a car. Or you have to go get the free one in the Badlands. That's like way far out. That section of the game, I would love having a car earlier there.
Intel says there's an elevator down to the lower levels. Make your way there and be ready for some heavy resistance.
Cars are the part I ignore the most.
Counting on you, Vault
I mean, they definitely don't handle well. But kind of need him to get around. So this is an Amara build I like playing. It's a grenade and status effect build. Also has some action skill support. But grenades are consistently underrated in this game by the player base. And Amara can apply some good dots through grenades. Also has good action skill usage. Just doing all that. Satisfact build dot to something in this game? You can, if you're Amara. Amara has the tech to support dot builds. And she can go about that in multiple ways. My assumption is just after meeting Goro at Tom's Diner. At least, yeah, that would be a good place, depending on where it's actually physically located in the game world. Gonna find more stuff about this build on a particular Amara-focused website. This isn't one of the ones from AmaraBuilds.com, but if you want to know how the dot interactions work, that is something you can find on AmaraBuilds.com. There's several dot builds there. This was heavily inspired by those.
one drink in Valhalla.
I throw
Those
Jackie's
were
bike
advanced
everywhere. The
mechs,
bikes
but
do
we're
handle a
onto
lot
something
better.
bigger. Keep going.
There's a really good bike you can get in an unmarked quest. Very fast.
Nothing to it.
Yeah, I got much better box of spawns there when I don't care about the pace. Yeah, that works out.
Bye.
Also out of grenades. Don't love that for me.
Feels so good.
There we go. Full grenades now.
Let's go around, huh? Summoning. I am living.
Freeze. I'll swap cars around depending on where I am, what I'm doing. Yeah, that's definitely optimal. It's like some are designed to handle better out in the Badlands, for example. And there's the narrative ones. Sometimes you'll want to use Jackie's bike. Usually super skeptical of celebrity appearances in video games, so I can't really explain why I'm excited for Idris Elba, but I am. I mean, Idris Elba is always good. He's one of those actors where, like, even though he's been in stuff that hasn't been good, he's never been the problem. Also, we might all be a little bit down bad, just like a little bit.
Now
He's a handsome man.
that's definitely your target. Light that giant bastard up.
Ruin them. Waste of my time.
Bonk. Not wrong, though. Stop that. I actually messed up my plans for this kill a lot.
I'm ready for a fight.
Oh. Well, that went well.
I'll be adding that takedown to my highlight reel.
Brilliant work, Vault Hunter. That ass kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us again.
So I was all straight, just saying it, just all biting the deception. I don't know how straight you are then. There's nothing wrong with that, and yeah, no, Idris can get it. Idris can get it. Yep. I think that's just the natural human reaction. Dude, Idris over Keanu. Oh, that's tough. Let's just not make it a competition. They're both awesome. And Sphere Hunter's in there? Yeah, she's cool. She's cool. Cyberpunk is already one of those everyone's attractive universes, so it fits. But yeah, Amara dot stuff. Reason why Amara can do dot stuff better than everyone else is she's got consistent status application through Violent Tapestry, but also dot damage and duration from Anima. And all of her bonus elements allow her to apply to extra ones. Wildfire spreads those status, and that new status created by Wildfire double dips the damage from Anima. So, like, you just have some key dot support that other characters lack. Like, Zane can get one character-specific boost for dot damage and chance, but only one. And it's way smaller than what Amara gets. Black doesn't get anything for dots specifically. Mose has 2 skills that reference dots, but one of them doesn't work. And the other one's just damage, not chance. And Mose has trouble actually applying dots without accidentally killing things. Whereas the way Amara's damage works, she can use dots as the primary thing. They know Idris more by reputation. Don't watch The Wire, only saw bits of Pacific Rim. He's in Thor stuff, which is fine. Don has it. I think I know him most from his stint in The Office. I saw that really shitty romance drama. The one with... Was it Kate Winslet in that? The one where they're on a mountain. What's the name of it? Mountain Between Us? That one? Yeah, that's the name. Saw him in that. He was in that Fast and Furious spinoff. There's that Western that I enjoyed a lot. The Harder They Fall. He was good in that. I'm trying to think what else. I know he's in that crime show, like a cop show. Luther, I think's the name. I've never seen it though. Yeah, I didn't see The Dark Tower either. Luther, yeah. I watched the first season of Luther, but it's really good. I might check it out then. It's good, not hot, so he's hot, and that's that. Can't argue with that. I enjoyed the Dark Tower movie despite it being completely unfaithful to the books. Well, the way they did that movie, I vaguely remember someone talking about it. It's like acknowledging that they probably wouldn't get another movie or wouldn't get a series out of it to cover all the books, so they just did something different. Check out Luther too. I don't have a good crime show right now. I don't generally watch crime shows, but like, I can always branch out. I just get too stressed out during crime shows. But yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. I wanted to at least get 2 hours in on the going live again. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'll be live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. No idea what I'm doing. We'll figure it out. Excellent thing about Dark Tower, but we're casting kind of perfect. Idris Elba, McConaughey were excellent choices. Yeah, I could see them definitely chewing up the scenery, especially together. Here we go. Seth is just starting, looks like. Yeah, been live for 4 minutes. Perfect. Is that correct? Okay, I did. So, I mentioned earlier, I've been spending more time hanging out with just other Borderlands creators that I enjoy, just lurking in their streams and stuff, and a lot of them happen to be BO2 one-lifers and challenge runners, who are very representative of how fans actually feel about these games. Like, people who will have particular problems with particular games, but, like, just enjoy shit. And he's also very knowledgeable and just fun to hang out around. So I think you guys will enjoy the vibes here. Make sure to drop a follow, hang out, say hi, all that good stuff. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, by the way, Jiggle, I guess. Yeah, y'all are great. See you next time. Bye.